fatalities lead to factions. At the time of crisis, a group can't care for every member. That is why those who are at the risk of being left behind start to make their own arrangements. And Iraq is doing the same to OPEC. And welcome to TFI English, the National Socio-Political Analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Piyush, and if you haven't subscribed to the TFI English channel yet, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates. Coming back to the story, in this video, I am here to tell you how India has forced its suppliers to fight for the share of Indian market. According to a report by Business Standard, Iraq is not following OPEC's consensus on oil supply. OPEC is busy increasing the oil price to new heights while Iraq is quoting a lower price to India. The geography, otherwise known for Saddam Hussein, is doing it in a bid to maintain its numero uno status of oil supply to India. In June this year, India had to chalk out an average of $116 per barrel to avail oil. The lower end of this price was dominated by Russia and Iraq. Russian Ural was available to India at a highly discounted price of $102 per barrel. At that time, conflicting data points had indicated that Russia had either replaced Saudi Arabia or was about to replace it as number 2 oil supplier to India. Naturally, Iraq was fearful of losing the huge Indian market. To save itself, it resorted to offer its oil to India at $9 lower than the Russian price. At the price of $93 per barrel, Iraq supplied India 1.39 million barrels of oil per day. It was a significant increase of 26% over its supply in May. On the other hand, Russians supplied 986,000 barrels of oil per day to India. Remarkable aspect of Russian oil to India is that its shopping cart is now open to those oil variants which were earlier not being transported to India. Earlier, Russians only supplied Urals to India. However, as they are shutting down their gates for the European market, other blends like Eastern Siberia Pacific Ocean Blend and Caspian Pipeline Consortium Blend are also making their way to India. ESPO blend is in fact the flagship crude of the Russian state. Why would Iraq be left behind? It also widened its basket for Indian markets. Earlier, Iraq mainly supplied Basra Light to Indian refineries. The problem with Basra Light is that it is costlier, and that is why Russian cheap oil posed a threat to Iraq. To lower the average cost, Iraq also started to pour in Basra Heavy and Basra Medium blend on Indian ships. Ideally, Iraq and other Arab nations should not have been worried about Russian supply, as initially it was perceived as a stopgap arrangement. Experts assume that until Ukraine-related sanctions are on, Russia will supply oil to India, and when things get back to normal, India will again have to depend on the Arab world. This partially explains why the Middle East finds it convenient to interfere in India's internal affairs. However, things didn't turn out for them as anticipated. Building on oil supplies, India and Russia started to take their relationship on a whole new level. Russians are opening their markets for Indian companies. An alternate rupee-ruble arrangement has been made for bilateral trade. Both countries are focusing on increasing bilateral trade to $30 billion by 2025. For this purpose, the geographical barriers are being eliminated. The INSTC corridor has started its operations, while our initiatives in Russia's Far East have started to pay off. The Russian Far East has huge potential of oil reserves, and explorations worth billions of dollars are going on. Foreseeing the future of India-Russia ties, the Arab world is scared. Why wouldn't they be? India's dependency on the Arab world is only with respect to oil and gas, while the Arab world is dependent on us for their meals. India has Russia as an alternative, but they do not have India's replacement.